Today we're talking about rubber ducking. And before you get too excited, that is short for rubber duck debugging. And what it is it's basically a problem-solving technique that software developers use. But the thing is, you can use it in any kind of troubleshooting scenario. So it'd be applicable to anyone, really. So getting into the backstory, there was a book released back in 1999. It was pretty popular, called The Pragmatic Programmer. And in this book, they tell the story of a software developer who would carry around a rubber duck, and he would debug his code by forcing himself to explain his code to the duck line by line. So the idea, you explain your problem to someone with no knowledge of the issue. In the process of explaining what you expect versus what you're seeing, the answer may suddenly become apparent to you. Why does this work? This is a real thing. It sounds really simple, but it actually works. And so basically you're externalizing and explaining your train of thought, which helps you identify gaps, false assumptions, and other flaws in your thinking. Why does that happen? It's because you're slowing down your brain, for one thing. Your average speed of thought is about 800 words per minute. Okay? When you're speaking out loud, it's more like 125 words per minute. The other thing that's happening is you're shifting your perspective because you're breaking down the problem, you're simplifying the issue, you're explaining it in simple terms. So doing that is likely to help you uncover details that you previously overlooked, right? And when you're slowing down your brain, you're lingering on certain things longer, even if it's only seconds or fractions of a second longer, but that could be enough to make something click. So why do we use a rubber duck? It's really just about tradition, and because it's like a goofy, funny thing, right? But any inanimate object would work in this technique. But why do we use this technique specifically? And that's to be more respectful of our colleagues' time. You can imagine, especially in any department in our company, people are very busy, right? So if everyone was constantly, and we're all troubleshooting all day long. So if we're constantly tapping each other on the shoulder, like, hey, I'm having this issue, like no one would get anything done, right? So it's just a way to respect your colleagues' time. And help you become more self-sufficient overall, which is always, that's a good thing a good goal to have. There are some alternative ways to do it without a duck. You can use action figures, teddy bears, plants, photos, anything like that. All those things work well as a rubber duck. Shania Twain is one of Andrew Mackenzie's favorites. He knew right away. So another way to apply the technique is to just write a letter addressed to like a friend or your favorite celebrity, like Shania Twain, and explain everything in detail. Provide all of the background information to help them understand the problem. Take them through it step by step. Before you're done typing that letter, or if you're a really fast typer, you might want to write it out by hand, so you slow yourself down some more. Before you're done, you may have the answer already. So you may have experienced this effect already many times throughout your life. Some examples of this effect happening, whether it was intentional or not, if you're writing an email to someone asking for help, and before you're done, the answer pops into your head. That happens to me all the time. It's very common. People do that on forums too, when they're like typing in a thing in like some coder community, like Stack Overflow or whatever. And sometimes you'll see a post, and then you'll see another post that's like, oh, I know the answer, never mind. And then people are like, stop using Stack Overflow as a rubber duck. So, or you might be filing a support ticket, right? So you could be writing an email to Mike, and you're like, my computer won't turn on. I did this, and then you're like, wait a minute, and you look, oh, it's not plugged in. So, but you're going through the steps yourself, and then these things occur to you. maybe other times you're just talking to yourself out loud while you're trying to figure something out, and it's kind of the same thing. You're slowing yourself down. So what else is this related to? This sort of effect of externalizing your thoughts. If you go through exercises, for example, like planning your day in advance. If you're planning your day in advance, that can help you in very much the same way. Because externalizing your thoughts allows you to see things with more clarity. So that's just another way you can apply this, right? So not even necessarily to a specific problem, but with more like, what am I going to be doing this week, or what am I going to be doing today? So in summary, explain your problem in detail to an inanimate object, to externalize your thoughts, slow things down, shift your perspective, and gain clarity. And make sure you get yourself a rubber duck on your way out the door. There's a big box of them right there. Everybody gets a duck. You get a duck. You get a duck. You get a duck. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And there's a box of chocolate in there, so help yourself to that as well. Yeah. Thanks for coming out.